Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking.
You feel it, don't you? That low level of anxiety that never quite goes away. In a world of 24-hour news cycles, economic uncertainty, and the relentless pressure of social media, modern life in America often feels like you are trapped in a storm you cannot control. We are wealthier than our ancestors, yet we are more stressed, more distracted, and less fulfilled. We have more connection than ever before, yet we feel profoundly isolated. But what if the antidote to this modern chaos was actually written 2,000 years ago? Today, we are not just reading philosophy, we are decoding a survival guide. We are breaking down the 9 rules of the Stoic Code, a practical blueprint used by emperors and slaves alike to build an unshakable inner fortress. These aren't abstract theories, they are actionable tools to reclaim your peace and power today. If you are ready to stop reacting to the world and start mastering your own mind, simply click the like button to signal your commitment, and let's begin this journey.
Rule 1. The dichotomy of control, the art of focus. The first rule is the foundation of everything. If you get this wrong, nothing else works. It is called the dichotomy of control. Look at your life right now. What keeps you up at night? Is it the volatile stock market? The angry comments on a political post? The traffic jam that made you late for work? The fear of what your boss thinks of you? Here is the hard truth. Most of the things you worry about are completely outside of your control. And because you pour your emotional energy into things you cannot change, you have no energy left for the things you can change. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, taught us that there are only 2 categories in life: things up to us and things not up to us. Up to us are our opinions, our impulses, our desires, and our own actions. Not up to us are our bodies, our possessions, our reputations, and whatever is not our own doing. In modern America, we are addicted to trying to control the uncontrollable. We scream at the television as if the politician can hear us. We stress over interest rates as if worrying will lower them. This is madness. It is like trying to tie a knot in the wind. The Stoic Code demands a shift. Stop agonizing over the result and start obsessing over the process. You cannot control if you get the promotion, but you can control how hard you work and the quality of your character. You cannot control if it rains on your vacation, but you can control your attitude about it. Here is a practical exercise for you, the 2-column method. Take a piece of paper. On the left, write, "Not in my control." On the right, write, "In my control." Write down every single worry you have. If it falls in the left column, you must practice the art of surrender. Cross it out. It is not yours to carry. Focus 100% of your energy on the right column. That is where your power lives. Rule 2. Stop outsourcing your happiness, internal validation. We live in an era of external validation. From the moment we wake up, we are programmed to look outward for approval. We check our phones for likes, we buy cars to impress neighbors we don't even talk to, and we measure our self-worth by our job titles. We have outsourced our happiness to strangers. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, warned that he who depends on the future or the applause of others creates his own suffering. When you need others to validate you, you become their slave. If they praise you, you are high. If they criticize you, you are crushed. You are a puppet and the world is pulling your strings. Think about how dangerous this is. If your confidence depends on your bank account, what happens when the market crashes? If your self-worth depends on your looks, what happens when you age? If your happiness depends on likes, what happens when the algorithm changes? The Stoic Code requires you to take back ownership of your self-worth. You must reach a point where you are content with yourself, even if the whole world misunderstands you. This doesn't mean you stop achieving. It means you change why you achieve. You do the work because it is the right thing to do, not because you want the credit. You help your neighbor because it aligns with your values, not because you want to be seen as a good person. Practicing this is difficult in our culture. It requires indifference to reputation. Try this. The next time you do something kind or successful, tell no one. Don't post it. Don't brag about it. Let the act itself be the reward. If you can be happy with your own conduct without an audience, you are finally free. Rule 3. Memento mori, the urgency of now. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. These words from Marcus Aurelius are not meant to scare you. They are meant to wake you up. In the United States, we have a strange relationship with death. We hide it. We sanitize it. We pretend it won't happen, at least not for a long time. This denial creates a dangerous side effect: procrastination. We live with the illusion of unlimited time. We say, "I'll forgive him one day. I'll start that business when the time is right. I'll spend more time with my kids after this busy quarter." We live life on pause, waiting for a perfect future that is not guaranteed. We waste hours doom scrolling on our phones, getting into petty arguments, and holding on to grudges that weigh us down. The Stoic practice of memento mori, remembering that you will die, cuts through this trivial noise. When you truly accept that your time is finite, you stop tolerating things that don't matter. You realize you don't have time to be offended. You don't have time to be insecure. You don't have time to do work that makes you miserable. Imagine if a doctor told you that you had 1 week left. Would you spend it worrying about a rude comment someone made online? Would you spend it trying to impress people you don't like? Of course not. You would focus instantly on what is essential: love, purpose, and presence. The Stoic Code challenges you to live with that urgency now, not later. Don't wait for a tragedy to clarify your priorities. Treat every day as a separate life. When you wake up, view it as a bonus. When you go to sleep, view the day as complete. By keeping the end in mind, you infuse the present with profound meaning. Rule 4. Amor fati, love your fate. This brings us to one of the most challenging, yet liberating, concepts in the Stoic Code: amor fati. It translates to love your fate. Notice that the instruction is not to tolerate your fate or accept your fate. It is to love it. In modern America, we are culturally conditioned to reject anything that doesn't go according to plan. We have a customer service mentality toward life. If the flight is delayed, we are outraged. If we get laid off, we feel like victims. If a relationship ends, we spiral into, "Why is this happening to me?" We waste immense amounts of energy wishing reality were different. We argue with the past. But the Stoics understood a fundamental law of the universe. You cannot change what has already happened. Fighting reality is a battle you will lose 100% of the time. Friedrich Nietzsche, heavily influenced by Stoic thought, described amor fati as the formula for human greatness. That one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. So, how do you apply this when life actually hurts? When you face financial ruin, or illness, or betrayal? You treat every event as necessary material for your own growth. Think of a fire. A fire consumes everything you throw into it, wood, paper, even garbage, and turns it into flame and heat. Your character is the fire. The obstacles in your life are the fuel. When you lose that job, do not say, "This is a disaster." Say, "This is fuel. This is my chance to pivot, to learn a new skill, to build resilience." When you are stuck in traffic, do not say, "This is wasting my time." Say, "This is fuel. This is a chance to practice patience and listen to a podcast that makes me smarter." This is the ultimate power move. Life cannot hurt you if you decide that everything that happens is for you. By loving your fate, you turn every stumbling block into a stepping stone. You become anti-fragile. The world pushes you, and you don't just withstand it. You get stronger because of it. Rule 5. The view from above, perspective shift. Do you ever feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders? Do you let a rude email ruin your morning? Do you lie awake at night replaying an awkward conversation from 3 years ago? This happens because we live our lives zoomed in. We view our existence through a microscope, where every minor inconvenience looks like a mountain. We suffer from main character syndrome, believing that our frustrations are the center of the universe. The Stoics developed a mental exercise to cure this anxiety instantly. They called it the view from above. I want you to try this right now. Mentally pull back from your current situation. Imagine you are floating up out of your room, rising above your city. You see the grid of streets, the rush hour traffic, the thousands of houses. Go higher. See the curve of the earth, the continents, the oceans. From this vantage point, look down at yourself. See that tiny speck that is you, worrying about that deadline or that bill. In the context of the entire planet, and the billions of people living their own complex lives, how big is your problem really? Marcus Aurelius used this technique constantly. He reminded himself that civilizations rise and fall, that famous men are forgotten, and that the earth is just a point in space. This is not meant to make you feel insignificant or depressed. It is meant to liberate you. It is meant to crush your ego, which is the source of most of your pain. When you realize how small your troubles are in the grand scheme of time and space, the tension leaves your body. You stop sweating the small stuff because you realize it is all small stuff. This perspective shift allows you to return to your life with a sense of calm. You can still handle your problems, but you handle them with the grace of someone who knows that the world will keep spinning, no matter what happens today. Rule 6. Voluntary discomfort, building resilience. We are living in the comfort crisis. Never in human history has a society been as comfortable as modern America. We have climate-controlled rooms, food delivered to our doorsteps in minutes, endless entertainment in our pockets, and painkillers for every ache. We have engineered struggle out of our lives. And the result? We have become fragile. We are anxious. We are depressed. Because we are rarely tested, we don't know what we are capable of. When a real crisis hits, a health scare, a financial crash, we crumble because we have no calluses on our souls. The Stoics believed that you must train for adversity before it arrived. Seneca, despite being a wealthy advisor to the emperor, would set aside days to live in poverty. He would wear rough clothing, eat scant meals, and sleep on the floor. He did this to prove to himself that he could survive without his luxuries. He asked himself, "Is this the condition I feared?" You must incorporate voluntary discomfort into your life if you want to be free. If you are addicted to comfort, you are vulnerable. If you need your morning latte to function, you are a slave to a beverage. If you need the AC set to exactly 70 degrees to sleep, you are a slave to a thermostat. The Stoic Code demands that you reclaim your independence. How do you do this in 2026? You introduce controlled stress to your system. Take a cold shower every morning. The shock wakes you up, but the discipline of staying under the freezing water when every cell in your body wants to step out builds an iron will. Practice fasting. Skip a meal or go 24 hours without food. Learn the difference between hunger and just appetite. Realize that you will not die if you miss lunch. Leave your phone in the other room for a full day. Sit with your own thoughts without the dopamine hit of a screen. By voluntarily choosing discomfort, you expand your comfort zone. You tell your brain, "I can handle this." So when involuntary discomfort arrives, and it will, you won't panic. You will look it in the eye and say, "I have been training for this." Rule 7. Be ruthless with your time, the only true currency. If I asked you to give me $100 right now, you would probably hesitate. You protect your money. You watch your bank account. Yet, how easily do you give away your time? We let notifications interrupt our focus. We say yes to events we dread attending. We spend hours consuming content that adds no value to our lives. We are stingy with our money, but wasteful with our lives. Seneca wrote a brilliant essay called On the Shortness of Life. His core argument was this: it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. In the modern world, your time is under attack constantly. Marketers, algorithms, and even well-meaning friends are all competing for a slice of your attention. If you do not defend your time, it will be stolen from you, minute by minute, until you wake up wondering where the years went. The Stoic Code teaches us that time is the only true currency. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a job and find another. But you cannot get yesterday back. Once an hour is gone, it is gone forever. To live a good life, you must become ruthless with your time. This requires the courage to say no. No, I cannot attend that meeting without an agenda. No, I will not engage in this draining argument. No, I will not check my email until I have finished my most important work. Audit your day today. Look for the leaks. Where are you spending time out of guilt? Where are you spending time out of habit? Cut those things out. Not so you can do more work, but so you can do better work and live a deeper life. Remember, a busy life is often a barren life. Do not mistake activity for achievement. Rule 8. Sympathia, we are made for each other. It is easy to misinterpret Stoicism as a philosophy of isolation. We picture the Stoic as a lone wolf, emotionless and detached from society. This is completely wrong. The Stoics had a beautiful concept called sympathia, the belief that all things are mutually woven together. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth. To act against one another is contrary to nature. Look at the United States today. We are suffering from an epidemic of division. Politics has become a blood sport. We view our neighbors as the other. We lock ourselves in echo chambers where we only hear voices that agree with us. We are lonely, angry, and disconnected. The Stoic Code offers a cure: radical empathy. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when a coworker is rude, when a family member votes differently than you, your instinct is to get angry. You want to judge them. You want to label them as bad or stupid. But the Stoic pauses. The Stoic asks, what is this person going through that I cannot see? Maybe the driver is rushing to the hospital. Maybe the coworker is going through a divorce. Maybe the family member is driven by fear, not malice. You don't have to agree with everyone, but you must recognize their humanity. We are all part of the same organism. When you hate your neighbor, you are like a hand trying to cut off the foot. You are only hurting the whole body. Try this today. Practice one act of kindness for a stranger with zero expectation of a reward. Hold the door. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you. Smile at the cashier. Connect. It reminds you that you are not alone in this struggle. Rule 9. The inner citadel, unshakable character. We arrive at the final rule, the fortress that protects all the others, the inner citadel. In a world that is constantly changing, where markets crash, viruses spread, and trends shift, you need something that is immovable. You need a core that cannot be shaken. For the Stoics, this was character. They believed that virtue is the sole good. This means that the only thing that truly matters is your moral compass. We live in a culture that often rewards the opposite. We see people cutting corners to get ahead. We see dishonesty rewarded with viral fame. We see people compromising their values for a paycheck. And it is tempting to join them. It is tempting to say, well, everyone else is doing it. But deep down, you know the truth. Success without character is just a well-dressed failure. If you sell your integrity to buy comfort, you will never sleep soundly. Your inner citadel is your integrity. It is the one thing that no tyrant, no boss, and no bankrupt economy can take from you. You can only give it away. Define your code. What are the lines you will not cross? What are the values you will not compromise, no matter how much money is on the table? Maybe it is honesty, telling the truth even when it costs you. Maybe it is courage, standing up for someone who is being bullied. Maybe it is discipline, doing the work when no one is watching. Build your fortress. When the world is chaos outside, you can retreat into your inner citadel and find peace, knowing that you have acted with honor. That is the ultimate freedom. The pilot, not the passenger. We have traveled through the 9 rules of the Stoic Code. We have moved from the chaos of the external world to the order of the internal mind. 1. The dichotomy of control. 2. Stop outsourcing happiness. 3. Memento mori. 4. Amor fati. 5. The view from above. 6. Voluntary discomfort. 7. Ruthless time management. 8. Sympathia. 9. The inner citadel. This is not just a list. It is a system. It is a way of operating in a high-pressure world without being crushed by it. Stoicism is often misunderstood as suppressing emotion. It is not. It is about not being enslaved by emotion. It is about feeling the fear and acting anyway. It is about feeling the anger and choosing reason. It is about being the pilot of your life, not the passenger. You now have the code. You have the blueprint that emperors used to rule the world and that prisoners used to survive it. But knowledge is not power. It is only potential. Power is action. The question is not whether you understand these rules. The question is, will you live them? Tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, will you hit snooze or will you rise with purpose? When the first problem of the day hits you, will you crumble or will you say good and use it as fuel? The choice is yours. It always has been. Thank you for investing your most valuable resource, your time, with timeless wisdom official today. In a world full of noise, you chose wisdom, and that sets you apart. If these rules resonated with you, if you feel a little stronger, a little clearer, and a little more ready to face the world, help us spread this message. There is someone out there right now who is drowning in anxiety and needs to hear this. Subscribe to the channel to join our community of wisdom seekers. Like this video to help the algorithm find others who need strength. And share it with a friend who needs a reminder of their own power. I want to hear from you. Which of the 9 rules do you need to work on the most right now? Is it letting go of control? Is it managing your time? Let me know in the comments below. I read them to learn from your journey as well. Stay strong, stay wise, and remember, the good life is within you.